In 2002, we had a colleague of ours who had introduced us to the Middle East. And he had worked for a portfolio company of ours, had gone back to the region, had given us a call and said, boy, you really should check out Dubai. We decided, let's investigate this. And it was interesting. It was a slow progression. It was 1 trip, 2 trips, 5 trips, so we're being very cautious, we're doing our due diligence. And at the end of the day, we thought, boy, there could be an opportunity to fund some type of an operating company. And, as we studied it, as we were a little bit more methodical, as we got to know people, we really realized the name of the game was real estate. Long story short, on June 15th of 2005, we were able to secure a contract for 34 acres in what I call downtown Dubai. And it's approximately a block to 2 blocks from the world-famous Palm that they created. And we then, at that point, became the first U.S. group to obtain rights of freehold ownership. And it was a major accomplishment and a big deal for us. At that point, and we didn't really understand this until after the fact, but we were the largest foreign direct investment ever to have come into Dubai. For us, it was a great learning experience, no question about it. But at the same time, we did the right thing. It broadened our horizons, it expanded our reach, our influence, if you will. We got to meet a whole new host of people. It was really, I think, good for the organization, for our employees. I mean, they had an opportunity to see other parts of the world that we normally wouldn't have seen. We fully understand now the risks of political risk or the risk of governments. So that really changed our entire outlook on how we view things internationally. And quite frankly, when we look at it, it's probably reassured us of, the good old US of A. I mean, there's no place like it in the world. And that's because of the transparency, because of the legal process, and really because of the political process. It's a system where there's plenty of integrity, as opposed to other cultures that just don't seem to have it, or other countries that don't seem to have it. We always like to swing for the fences on 1 or 2, and a lot of times that's some international flavor, and that's fun, and we enjoy doing that. But what we really found is, because of the downturn globally, there's really been a regression in some of these foreign markets, and a real regression in terms of transparency, a real regression in terms of foreign investment being welcome. So when we take a look at the market here in the U.S., because of the downturn, because of the restrictive sort of environment of the banks, we've really found plenty of opportunity here in the U.S. So the need to go overseas, where their policies are becoming more regressive, they're not too keen, they're trying to protect their own, and when people are in trouble, they sort of hunker down and review things themselves. We've found that in the U.S. there's just plenty of friends close by, in an environment that we completely understand, who could use our services and who would be willing to work with us. So there's lots of good opportunity, good people who are just caught in bad circumstances. So our focus has been mainly the U.S. and then, and even closer than that, the Midwest, and even closer than that, Northeast Wisconsin, or Wisconsin as a whole. It might be just my nature, because I tend to be, I'll say, a little aggressive, and I can see the end, and maybe that's what makes me a little bit different. I can see, as clear as a bell, plain as day, where we need to be. So I'm just simply going from A to B in the shortest period of time that I can. Unfortunately, as many business owners know, who also have that same gift, that ruffles some feathers if you do it too aggressively. So part of my MO or my makeup has always been to just do it as aggressively or as quickly as possible. There's no need to dilly-dally, because here's the end result, here's what people are after. But I've just learned that you have to be very inclusive. I may understand it, and a small group of colleagues or people in a village or community might understand it, but you've got to take the community as a whole and try to inform people as much as possible, because otherwise you're just viewed as a bull in a china shop. For me, I've been through it, and I sometimes forget. I've got to bring people along, and their input is critical too. I mean, at a local level, I was gone for a long period of time, and here I find myself, being exceptionally aggressive, maybe more so than I had been before I left. And, it wasn't the right thing to do. It wasn't fair to them either, for me just to come in and start fixing things or replacing things or, you know, impressing perhaps what they saw, my vision on them, when in reality, I was just trying to help the community as a whole. And I'm still trying to help the community as a whole. I had to take a big step back and say, whew, you know, it's just going to take, again, time, for people to understand exactly what I'm doing, to try to let them know what my vision was, why I was doing it. I wasn't just doing it for any type of, you know, ego. I wasn't doing it to, you know, bolster my own self-interest. You know, a lot of things we do on the community side, you know, there's no profit to it, but it's good for the community and it's good for people. So that education process just takes time, and I'm not so sure that I'm still good at it, but I'm working on it.